Your gifts were never meant to drain you or exhaust you or deplete you. Your gifts are designed to nourish you, to move through you like a wave of plasmic light moving through your own system, awakening and nourishing your own system before it then comes out and comes forth and becomes expressed by you, awakening others to their own power. Your gifts are not asking you to hold the weight of the world or to hold the emotional baggage or the physical pain, the mental pain of the people that you love or the people that you are working for, your clients. Your service as an energy work provider, an energy healer, a quantum healer, doing quantum energy work, if you're a medium, if you're a psychic, if you're an intuitive, and it is heavy. And if you have to crash out for hours, sometimes days, if you can only handle 1 or 2 clients a day before your channel is overwhelmed, before your physical body shuts down, before you're feeling tired, before you're feeling muddled or ungrounded, if your work is giving more than it is able to receive, this is your sign that it's not your gifts that are a problem. It's not because you're too sensitive or too empathic. It's that the foundation that you're standing on needs some refinement, reinforcement, and restructuring. And no shade, because I know this place deeply as well. When I first stepped into this work, I was highly sensitive. I didn't trust myself. I didn't understand the difference between holding space and taking everything on. I definitely didn't understand the difference between being able to receive from someone, so reading someone's aura or body or connecting into their loved ones, their transition loved ones, their energy and my energy, where you can read it without taking it on as your own. That was a big learning curve for me. And we often hear this narrative again and again where we're told or reiterated that these high profile energy workers are exhausted after every session. That to be a healer means you are taking on other people's stuff. But to be the healer, to be the energy worker, to be the channel means that you are a container for source to move through you. Your soul did not sign up for depletion. It signed up for you to be a conduit, a bridge for this energy to move through you so it can anchor into Mother Earth, which then supports Mother Earth in her own ascension. But this energy that moves through you is also meant to nourish you, replenish you. It's meant to be assimilated into you, anchored in as the living bridge. The only way that I was able to get back into energy work after years of shutting down was I had to work on my energetic foundation, specifically learning how to ground my way for me, what worked for me. And I made it a non-negotiable. I had to ground every day. And I learned about energy clearing. But those things only go so far because I also had to learn about myself and what my own energy was, who I am. Because once I know who I am, it becomes very clear when someone else's energy is in my space. And then I had the tools and resources to clear that. So it didn't have to become exhaustion or physical pain in my body to get my attention. And once I understood these foundational pieces, everything shifted. I became the embodiment of my boundaries and my work, and people felt that resonance. All of a sudden, my schedule filled up, and I can do many, many people a day without being exhausted beyond a normal work day, right? But I'm not taking on anyone else's emotional baggage. I will note that as a clairsentient, I do feel a pain or I'm brought somewhere in the body. But as soon as I get that message, I say thank you and I remove it. I do not hang on to that. And people often at the end of a heavy session, like, oh, I hope that doesn't bring you down. Oh, I hope that's so much for you to carry. And I'm like, no, I don't carry that. Everything moves through this space. My sessions feed me. They light me up because I am doing my soul's work, and I allow the nourishment of that higher energy to move through me and rejuvenate me before it is expressed beyond me, to be in the highest service. It's not draining me. My work is not a sacrifice. I am not a martyr in this spiritual work, in this ascension journey. And I want you to also come into that understanding. If you want your gifts to nourish you, there's a few understandings. One, you have to find any beliefs. If you hold the belief that to be intuitive or psychic or energy worker or empathic or sensitive is going to deplete you, that you need to sacrifice yourself, you need to find where that belief comes from and rebalance, reprogram that limiting belief within you. The other part of this is to understand that your energy field is resourced, that you are a conduit to allow this energy to flow through you. It's not coming from you. I'm not giving you my life force energy. I am a conduit for higher energy to move through me. There's a big difference between those two states. And this fundamental understanding is why a lot of really powerful energy workers burn out and they can't continue to do really incredible needed work. They confuse being the channel with being the punching bag or being the dumping ground. But we're not meant to hold other people's energy. We can't digest someone else's energy, just like we can't digest someone else's food for them. It's their job. The next understanding is around energy leaks. And there's a lot that can be folded into this, but essentially energy leaks create depletion, where a lot of energy workers want more power, more gifts, more abilities, more clairvoyance, more. When really we need to understand and seal up where our energy leaks are going. So are you overgiving? Do you have leaky boundaries? Are you ungrounded? Are you fully clearing energy? And that includes, are you receiving information about your clients hours, days, weeks before their session or after their session, and you can't stop thinking about them or working on them, or messages keep coming through? These are all examples of energy leaks and how your foundation needs to be reinforced, because this creates exhaustion. You become tired, you become disconnected from your body, you start to doubt yourself. And none of those things support your highest evolution. When your foundation is strong, when you have these fundamental understandings, your gifts, your abilities not only flow cleanly, but you are precise, you are refined. You can hold more space. You can go deeper in your sessions and you can rise to your highest potential. The greatest, highest, most beautiful, magnificent trees have the biggest root systems. We want to rise all the way to the top without having our root system in place. That's not sustainable. It creates you as a sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in order to be in service. And this brings us to anchoring these structures to unlock that full potential, that full liberation or freedom. In these spiritual places, I know it's often uncomfortable or overlooked to talk about structure or the divine masculine, because being intuitive and holding those messages and seeing outside of the box, that's the divine feminine. But in order for us to be a whole flowing system in our highest frequency, we need to merge both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And in this case, the divine masculine is that structure, that scaffolding to allow us to grow off of. It's when we learn that our boundaries don't make us less valuable or wanted or needed. It just changes the container of what you're willing to accept and not accept. And in that way, it stops being a cage. We also have to consider your nervous system. Can your nervous system sustainably hold a high frequency? Most people can't. And when you're doing the inner work to allow to uncover where your leaks are, how you're not structured properly, what your nervous system is doing. If you need to do shadow work or inner child work, innately your psychic and intuitive gifts are going to sharpen because that's who you are. And suddenly you experience this shift where your divine work, your soul mission work, stops becoming a struggle and starts becoming embodied and lighting you up. And it is full of abundance and community, and you get to rise with other people. And this is exactly what I teach in my spaces because I want intuitive leaders and healers and channels and mystics and facilitators to be fully embodied so that you can do your work, so that you are fully embodied and resourced and anchored in your power. We need your unique power and gifts during this time of global ascension. There's going to be a lot of people waking up and a lot of people coming to understand that they are more than this physical body and this physical world. And we need you leading the way, holding the space, becoming the bridge for them to move through this experience. Ascend and Embody is my upcoming retreat for those who are ready to move on and through to the next level, to stop leaking their energy, to lead from a heart-centered space that is in overflow, where there is a full coherence in their mind, their desire, and their soul's mission. And it's for those who are ready to raise their frequency in a way that is beyond your wildest dreams and sustainable. Because you know that you're meant for more and that you can hold more. If you're feeling the pull to step into the next level of embodiment, this is your portal. If you're just beginning and you want to build your foundation first, welcome home. My foundational course is in place for you to start. And if you want something a little more personalized, then I have my one-on-one mentorship open as well. Remember, your gifts are not meant to drain you. They're meant to feed you and light you up and serve the collective, not to burn you out. We're entering a new era of leadership where we are embodied energy workers. We're not exhausted ones. We're not spacey, ungrounded ones. We're here to serve the collective. But in order to do that, we need to make sure we're taking care of our own being first and be that mirror of what's possible for others. If you're feeling this stir within your body, if there's some sort of resonance within this message, it's not random, right? It's your soul communicating to you, through you, saying, it's time. It's time to listen. All of the links are below. If you're finding resonance with this message, make sure you're subscribing, you're sharing it with a friend, and most importantly, that you're taking that leap for your soul. Before the whisper of your soul becomes a loud screech or a 2x4 hitting you, because I've also been there. This is your time to rise.